Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dubai City. Discover the iconic skyline.
All right, you lot. Another drive and talk. Here, watch my car park. This is leaving. Am I what do you call it? Doxing myself. No. Anyway, morning. It's Tuesday, and here's an update on my health. Tuesday, and literally a month ago, I had 200 BP over 120. 200 over 120. I discovered it was 180 over 130, and then it went to 200 over 120, and I was 110 kilos, hypertension, very high cholesterol, pretty much in trouble. So I had to get on some regime, so I started walking in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning down at Kite Beach, and started eating healthier, trying to reduce the weight and all that sort of stuff. I don't know, I'm not even fat. But anyway, I had to go and, I'm 110 kilos, but that's pure muscle, by the way. I'm a machine. And so I had to go and lose, they told me I'm 20 kilos overweight because I've got a BMI of 30, which is absolute cack. Anyway, so I've got to go from 110 down to a minimum of 100. And in 2 weeks, I've gone from 110 down to 103. So that's because of a combination of going to war with myself, getting up every morning at 4:30, 5 o'clock, going for a walk for 5k, going to the gym every day, eating beans and shit, and no butter and no all the good stuff that I like. So I've had to cut all that stuff out and slow down just to get this weight down. And my blood pressure today is about 130 over 90, which is, I think, is in the perfect range. So I'm doing all right. Anyway, Dubai, it's lots of good stuff going on. So I thought I'll give you a bit of an update while I'm heading into the office. I was listening to Rory this morning, our mate Rory Sutherland. So Rory, if you don't know, Rory is Vice Chairman of Ogilvy, currently the Meat Magic Chief Evangelist. Talks a lot about human behaviour. And it got me thinking about this whole, and if you've seen any spam on LinkedIn, by the way, because I got my agent Manus to set up a 12-part series of 12 LinkedIn lives over the next 12 weeks that we're going to be doing with Matthew. So each of the 12 modules talks a little bit about the human intelligence accreditation program that we've developed. And so what's going to happen every Friday for half an hour, we're going to discuss what it means. So this coming Friday, there's the first one with Matthew. It talks about trust, what it means to actually have that and lose that in your company, etc., with this whole AI thing. And it got me thinking about Rory. What Rory talks a lot about companies and businesses and why the businesses are around. And there are two schools of thoughts according to Rory. One of them is, the first school of thought is that businesses are there to create efficiency, and efficiency often lives on a balance sheet, right? So you've often got the four horsemen of the industrial apocalypse, HR, procurement, finance, and compliance, all trying to aim towards that efficiency. So all about the EBITDA and making the company look good on the balance sheet. Then there's the other school of thought, which is companies that go out and discover things and do look for new ways to create revenue and so on. So we're pretty much in that second one. So anyway, do you want to see the view? Here you go. Have a look at that. That's the Burj. This is City Walk. City Walk's so nice. City Walk's like Potts Point, but better because there's no crackheads. I don't know. It's just got this vibe about it. That hotel up there, there's actually a slide in between that building. So it's just anyway. So the two schools of thoughts about business. So got me thinking. Rory says a lot of these AI companies at the moment are selling efficiency. So that is pretty much. What's efficiency? It's making things better and removing people. That's pretty much what these big large language models and AI companies are selling. They're selling efficiency because that's what everybody wants. Just like those consultants that go in there and they say, hey, we'll save you 20%, give us a clip, and they go in there and they create efficiency, and they use all these tools and mechanisms to reduce staff, etc. So this is the whole selling motion that AI has right now. So efficiency gains, productivity increases, The problem that Rory points out, and this is something that everybody needs to consider, is whilst you think you're gaining efficiency, you might be erasing your value. And let me explain what he talks about in terms of, erasing that value. Imagine the doorman at the hotel. He's there, looking at the door. He opens the door, and he helps people. All of a sudden, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse comes along, finance, and says, "Hey, this doorman's costing us too much money. Let's put an automatic door in place." So the doorman does is open the doors. What they didn't realise is that doorman actually hails taxis, arranges restaurants, bookings, adds value, remembers your customers' names, all this incremental value that the doorman gives. And that's gone. And it's gone once you think you've created efficiency. This is the same thing that's happening with AI. The value that's getting wiped out, and you've only got to look at IKEA as a model example of what they did. Here, check the view. Come on, get that down your neck. I'm going around the circle now. Remember that circle what we did last week? Anyway, I'm not gonna look at this. So anyway, the value that is created is really important not to get wiped out. And how do you avoid doing that? Well, you've got to have a bit of a conversation with your team. And this human intelligence accreditation course that we've created is really important. And every company right now, is looking at cutting costs and making efficiency gains. And what does that come at the expense of? People. And so we need to stop that, because getting rid of the doorman is not necessarily the right idea. It's like when when one of those four horsemen of the industrial apocalypse came along to the Hilton Hotel Group. They used to give away cookies. You walk into one of the Hiltons and you get that nice warm smell of cookies. Hold on, five lanes. Here, do you want to have a look? This is nuts. This is quiet. 5 lanes of bloody traffic. Actually more, 6, 7. This is DIFC. I love DIFC. There's so many cool places down here for food. Have a look at this big museum coming up. For anyone that's not been to Dubai, you've got to go in there. It's called the Museum of the Future.
Ahead.
Oh, okay, thank you. I can do 120 in a 180. So if you don't know, in Dubai, if the speed limit's 100, you can do 120. If you do 121, you get pinged. If you go to Abu Dhabi and the speed limit's 100, there's a Museum of the Future. If the speed limit's 100 in Abu Dhabi and you do 101, you're getting done. Anyway, so back to the the four horsemen of the industrial apocalypse. Finance comes along to the Hilton hotels and says, look, all these cookies are great that you're giving away, but it's costing us $12 million a year. We can't keep affording to giving away all these cookies. So what does the finance do? They cut the cookies out. All of a sudden, all those people that used to come into the hotel and really enjoyed the smell and really enjoyed the warm cookie when they checked in, they don't come back. The value is gone. So whilst you think you've created value by increasing the profits because you've cut out the warm cookies or the doorman, you've actually lost a lot of value that you cannot measure. And that value that you cannot measure is the problem that is getting wiped out every time you get rid of people in a company, whether it's people inside a call center. I actually think some people inside call centers and customer success teams need to be paid 10 times more than they are because they bring so much extra value to the company. So have a think about that. It's really important. And if you want to join us on Friday, it's 11:30 a.m. Dubai time, I think 5:30 Sydney time. Matthew Byrne, legendary Matthew Byrne from the UNSW Business School, from the AGSM, him and I are going to be talking. We're going to be asking 3 questions and you're going to learn something. And then every week for the next 12 weeks, we're going to deliver one of those 30-minute podcasts where you can get to learn something. Anyway, that's it. We've got a new platform that's about to be launched. I want to just touch on this in a minute because it's really important as well. Business is changing. B2B is changing. It's changing fast. We're seeing that. Marketing teams are under pressure increasingly to deliver value. What do? They spend more money on conferences, more money on roundtables, more money on golf days, more money on sports events, more money on this, more money on that. Still don't get any results. So it's changing quickly. And one of the things that we're doing with this new platform is surfacing the demand. So if you want to be a part of this platform that we've created, it's in production right now. It's a couple of weeks away from being launched. Your business will be a little bit like when you sell a house. Your house has to be listed on a website, and you've got to pay for that listing to be on a website, and then people can see it and buy it and whatever, put a bid in. It's the same sort of thing here. If your company is listed on our website, it'll cost you $150 a month to be listed. But then when an executive comes along and they launch a project, maybe they're looking for some help with cyber, they're looking for some help with analytics or AI, your company will be presented to them through our platform, and they can then request a meeting with you. You can request a meeting with them, a connection to have a conversation about that. It might be discovery. It might be that they've actually got a live initiative that they need help with a budget, with a timeline and everything else. So to be included in this platform that we've developed, you've got to be on board with it. If you register between now and the 1st of September when we go live, you can have it for $100 a month. Otherwise, after that, it's $150 a month. So we're giving basically 4 weeks notice for you to become a founding technology partner on our platform. Then when the executives, and we're going to have 1,000 projects and discovery calls that are registered on the platform for this to go live, because we've got all these execs already that have got all these initiatives out there. So rather than spending all your money on your conference and standing there trying to find some demand, we're actually capturing that demand and presenting it to you and giving the executives a chance to actually meet you without all the rubbish of going to the fireside chat and God knows what. So it's very much more efficient, it's a much more economical use of your money, and it gets you access to a conversation and an opportunity to have a conversation very, very quickly and much more efficiently than you're currently doing. So that's the new platform that's coming. It's going to be quite, I think once it's launched, I think you're going to see that it'll do all the work of a business development person, because as soon as a project is launched, it's automatically shared with the people that it's matched to. So the execs are going to get matched with the vendors who can actually solve that problem. And then once that project's live, it'll automatically be sent to you. So you'll get a message, you get a LinkedIn, you'll get a WhatsApp, or you'll get a text message or an email. You get all that automation flow that will come to say, hey Mary, you've been matched with this particular exec, there's a project there, click on here to go and have the conversation. That's it. And you've got to have some money in the system to be able to go and book that call. It's going to be a beautiful way for every salesperson on the planet to basically find opportunities that are real, that execs need help with. So I think that's it. I'm going to put my music back on and go to the office. Talk to you later, you lot.
Oops, sorry.
Sorry. Morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Thanks.
Very good.
Morning.